Michigan's new distracted driving law takes effect Friday, putting more restrictions on drivers and more focus on safety.
The current law, which was passed back in 2010, only addressed texting while driving. And because it was so specific, the law was limited when it comes to a number of potentially dangerous distractions like browsing social media or even watching a video while driving.
To discuss these changes, joining us in studio tonight is Michigan State Police First Lieutenant Mike Shaw. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So let's get into this here. How will this impact drivers and the safety going forward?
So hopefully it will save their lives. I mean, that's what the ultimate goal of this change is we're seeing a large amount of distracted driving out there. And we could talk about the fines and the court and all that kind of stuff. But until you actually do a death notification at somebody's house and tell them that their loved one was killed in a preventable crash because somebody was on their phone, that was the tough part. So what we looked at with the law that you talked about before, which was very difficult, even the judges were saying, if you can't prove they were texting, this law is useless. So now what this is going to do is it's going to take that cell phone, that mobile device, right out of your hand. There's no argument. You don't have to be a state trooper to see what's going on our roads. I mean, I'm sure both of you on the way to work today saw at least one person that was distracted by being on their phone.
Yeah. Is there anything to the practice a lot of people have? You'll see people driving, you know they're on your phone, but you can't see it. They're holding it at a certain level. Can you pull someone over if you can't actually see the phone?
So you can, because what it says in this law is it kind of defined it too, that you can't support it by any part of your body or anything like that. So if you're going up there and seeing that person, and most of the time, even before we get up there to see that they have their phone in their hand, we'll tell by their driving behavior. You know, we've all seen them. The light turns green and their head's down, and they're not going, and then you're afraid to beep the horns, but you want to keep on going through there. So absolutely, but that's also one of the changes. Is before in the old law, when you were stopped at a stop sign, you could use your phone and text and all that stuff. In this law here, you cannot. So my recommendation to everybody, and this, boy, I'll get the hate mail after this one, but my recommendation is open up that glove box. Take your cell phone and stick it inside when you get behind the wheel and close that glove box up, and you won't even have to worry about me, anybody catching you a fine or anything else. You'll be okay.
So sitting at a red light, cannot text
cannot touch
at
the
any
phone.
point.
Yep.
And so how will this be enforced? I mean, let's say we're driving down the street and you see us on the phone, you see us texting or whatever, you're pulling us over and ticket, I imagine.
Yep. So it's a primary offense, so you don't have to do anything else. I mean, just this part of it is enough to get you pulled over. Our hope is that that's not where it takes us, right? So that's why I'm here today. I've been all over the place. This is not a secret. Everybody knows that on Friday you can no longer hold your phone in your hand. So what our hope is that people just do that on their own without having to worry about us helping them with that problem. We allow our troopers discretion, so it's up to them to decide if it's gonna, I always used to say that if I walk up to your car and we have a conversation and I change your driving behavior, it's okay. If I walk up to your car and say you had your cell phone in your hand, you told me you didn't, I'm probably gonna have to write it down for you. So, that's kind of how that works as far as, between a verbal warning. We just want to change that driving behavior and hopefully save some lives in the process.
This may be part of that discretion you mentioned, but what about people? A lot of folks depend on their phone to get around, the GPS function. They might have it on a clip or some kind of holder, and they might touch it occasionally. What would you say to those people?
Yep, so absolutely. So what it's going to be like, now you're going to get in your car, you're going to put your seatbelt on, you're going to program your GPS, you're going to put it in your clip or hook it to your Bluetooth, and it's going to start talking to you, and you put it in drive and you drive away. You don't have to touch it. It does everything already beforehand. It's just going to have to be a practice for people to decide, if I want to use this as a GPS system, then I'm going to need to make sure that I think about that beforehand. And if you forget or you want to do something, you pull over into a parking lot, you program it again, put it back in drive, and then drive away.
Are there any exceptions?
So there is exceptions for first responders. So in the performance of their duties, if they have to do something with their cell phone, they can. Also, if you need 911 or you want to call in an incident to the police, you can use it for them. But other than that, that glove box is going to be an awesome place to put that phone, because we all got it, right? I mean, you hear it bing, and you got that urge that you got to check it. We're all trained to do it. You have no choice. Yeah. So sometimes just put on do not disturb, throw it in that glove box. There was just nothing that important that is worth killing yourself or somebody else.
Absolutely, and that's the reminder when we're frustrated with it, the reason behind it. Lieutenant Mike Shaw, First Lieutenant Mike Shaw from MSP, thanks so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.